Howdy, my name is Ben Marsh. I'm the Associate Director of Admissions here at Christendom College. I'm here with John Fowler and Amelie Halisky, who are both juniors who just came back from their semester in Rome. I'm delighted to talk with them. I want to just talk to them a little bit about what their experience with Rome was like, just so you, as prospective students, can get a sense of that and look forward to that in your junior year. So, guys, in general, what is an average day in the life of a Christendom student studying Rome look like?
You go first?
I'll go first.
Good.
Yeah. So in Rome, there's no meal plan, so you're responsible for making your own meals. So typically I'd wake up, make a little bit of breakfast and some coffee, and then sometimes it would end up being a run down to the train station, but typically around is 8:30 or so.
Yeah.
Most people
It
would
was
make
always a rundown for me,
yeah.
but I think it's
Yeah.
8:02. Yeah.
Yeah, make one of the trains. Um, and then take a few stops down near St. Peter's, and then you get to walk right past St. Peter's
Yeah.
to go to class. That was one of the coolest parts. And then class in the mornings. Every once in a while, an afternoon class
Mm-hmm.
or a tour. Um, and then you're done in the early afternoon, and then the world is your oyster from there.
It is, yeah.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things is during lunch, our lunch break is long enough so that we can go over to St. Peter's for mass and still make it back in time for the next class, the next afternoon class. So that was one of my favorite things to do. Yeah.
Can you go a little bit more about the classes? Just how long are they? What are you going over? What were those like? Who are the teachers that you have in that way? And like maybe a little bit more about the tours as well.
Yeah. We had moral philosophy. We had history class, of history of philosophy. We had a theology class, art and architecture, and a communications class. And they're all 2 hours long. Yeah.
Yeah, so we had Father Anthony
Mm-hmm.
for theology, Father Nate for philosophy. Then we had Dr. Sarah Magister for art and architecture. And in Italian and
Oh, right.
communications were split between Professor Sean Patrick Lovett and Katie Ott.
Yeah.
So those were all 2 hours. The tours were in communications and art and architecture, and then in class was Italian and theology and philosophy.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can tell you also from my time, I'm sure it was probably the same for you. I absolutely loved getting to tour Vatican Radio with
Oh,
Professor Sean Patrick Levitt. You get to do all sorts of amazing things. Like there's going to the Roman Forum, all those different things. It's pretty awesome. For us, I think our different thing is that we're not staying outside of the city. You're in the city, and like that. It's a great experience. Is there one highlight that you guys remember from being in the city, or the things that you got to do while you were in Rome?
yeah, absolutely. One of the things for me was based off our art and architecture class. We would learn in class about, the architecture of a church or a piazza or a famous artist like Caravaggio or Michelangelo. And then we would actually get to go in person, whether that day or by ourselves, and go find those paintings and, be able to recognize the symbolism. And it was awesome. Yeah.
Yeah, for me it was early in the semester where we went with a group of guys to um, St. John Lateran, and just across the street was the Holy Steps, and we all ended up going right as it opened because they take a break for a nap. And then everybody came back, and we were one of the first ones in line, and we were all able to go up the Holy Steps on our knees and just being able to see not only the steps but also the men that I was there with, and everyone doing it. And it was such a special moment. It was, I think, for all of us, but for me in particular.
That's great.
Mhm.
Yeah, you're in the heart of the church. It's an awesome experience. We all loved our time in Rome, and I hope that when you come here as a student, you come here as a junior, you get to experience your time in Rome too, and you get to pray and learn with the heart of the church. So, from us, have a great day. Thank you. God bless.